I don't think from the other night we have any injuries, so everybody should be available. And the cases like Cazorla, Bellerin are still out, so we have nobody coming back.
Is Lucas getting closer?
Lucas is first time in training today. He might be in contention for Wednesday. One training session is not enough to be involved on Sunday.
3 draws in a row, does that put a bit more importance on Sunday's game?
Yes, of course. The positive side is that we don't lose, but it's not positive enough for us. We want, of course, to win our game. And we have built the momentum, and sometimes you go a little bit for a spell where it's less easy for you, and we want to, of course, come back to the 3 pointers.
It's Bournemouth on Sunday. Jack Wilshere can't play. You'd rather he had played, I suppose.
Look, I'm happy that he develops well. I think it was basically, in the end, it was a good decision for him to go to Bournemouth, because he gets regular football, and now on the observations I get from our people who watch him, he's getting stronger every week, and that's exactly what he needed, is to have regular football, maybe not every 3 days but every week at the start, and that's helped him a lot to develop and to come back to the level where he deserves to be.
Arsene, hello. How much do you think Bournemouth will miss Jack Wilshere then against you on Sunday?
I don't know. When a player like Jack is in top form, you miss him always. And but I feel I just told you that we want to win games again, and that's certainly more. The solution is more on our side, to focus on our offensive performance and be tight at the back rather than expect any weakness from Bournemouth.
He will know a lot about Arsenal, obviously. Are you worried he might give away a few trade secrets?
That's normal, but that will not make the result of a game on Sunday.
After this round of games, we'll have reached the third of the way through the season. Is the Premier League title race shaping up pretty much how you thought?
Slowly, yes. Slowly, there are little differences, but I think as long as there is not 10 points difference, the teams are in the race. After over 10 points difference, after a third of the season, you can say it's too many points.
Are Manchester United still in it, for example, down at 6?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
How do you reflect overall on November so far? I know it's often said it's a difficult month for your club. You haven't lost in it.
No.
But 3 draws, you were saying just then, perhaps you'd have hoped for more positive.
Yes, I would say that it depends now what we will do for in the last weeks of November to assess it, but at the moment we haven't lost. We had difficult games, Tottenham, Man United, and of course Paris Saint-Germain. It's 3 difficult games in a row, but let's see how we finish November.
You started with Olivier Giroud in the Champions League game. Has he earned the chance now because of his goals to start on a regular basis?
No, it's just game by game, I choose a solution. I'll make the decision for the next game. I thought in this game that his physical presence could give them a big problem at the back, and so I decide game after game. We need everybody on board now, and it's just the next game that matters.
It looks like being second place potentially now in the group. In the past, that's really hurt you, but this time around might not be too bad.
Well, yes, you don't know. But I wanted to finish first, and because you feel less guilty if you have a bad draw than if you finish second. But it's not over. But 90%, I think now Paris Saint-Germain will finish top of a group on this famous rule of away goal that counts, that I am against for a while now.
Any sign of it changing though? Because they seem to be fairly settled in, and that's the way they want to decide groups rather than goal difference.
Yeah, but that was, I think, in this case, for example, we had 2 draws with Paris Saint-Germain. it's the away goal from Paris Saint-Germain that will make the difference, certainly at the end of a group stage. But overall, I believe let's win our final game in Basel, and then we'll see where we stand.
One last one from me. Steven Gerrard retiring from football. How would you sum up his career, Arsene?
For me, he was a huge player who stops his career. A bit surprisingly, because I thought he had 2-3 more years in his legs, because he had such a huge physical talent at the start that I thought he will play until 40. Maybe he has some joint problems, only he knows that, you know. But overall, you can just salute a fantastic player who has shown, I think he had the qualities that every midfielder dreams to have. He could score goals, he could cross the field, he could shoot from distance, could cross the ball, could dribble, had pace. He had commitment, motivation. It's a massive player, it's Steven Gerrard. And on top of that, he was loyal to Liverpool. So that's as well a quality that you don't find a lot nowadays.
Arsene, your last couple of home performances, what do you think has been missing? Because you haven't had the same volume of efforts on goal that you've had in previous ones.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I believe we have to find our game back, because we didn't lose, but overall, you know, if you do not create, that will not last. So it's important that we find our simplicity and speed and pacey combinations back, and we missed a little bit that fluency, that security in our decision making that made us dangerous in the final third, and that's what is at stake for us.
Do you accept that the crowd atmosphere at the Emirates has been a bit subdued, and if so, do the fans have a bit of a responsibility to get behind, create a bit more of a vibrant atmosphere?
No, I always maintain the same opinion about that. It's down to us to create the momentum in the crowd, you know. It's not down to the crowd to create that. We want the crowd is behind us. We want to come back to our fluency, to the speed of our movement, and that's I agree with you, it was not really in our team in the last 2-3 games.
It's been a very troubling week in football with the stories of abuse at Crewe. How concerned have you been by what you've read and heard?
First of all, I was surprised and amazed that that happens in our game. Secondly, I think we try inside our club absolutely everything to keep that out of football. And for the rest, you have just to trust the inquiry to do their job and punish people who didn't behave well.
How damaging, though, is it that for the public at large, the essential bond of trust between coach and player may be doubted a little bit?
I do not think that from one example, you know, you can question the whole, the hundreds and thousands of coaches. It's like it happened at schools, it happened in colleges, in the French church, it happened as well. People complain 20 or 30 years later. What is good is that it comes out, and people are not unpunished and conscious that there are things that cannot be accepted.
Arsene, Emiliano Martinez has just signed a new deal. What potential do you see for him?
Who?
Your young goalkeeper.
Oh, Emi Martinez. I believe he's our goalkeeper number 3 at the moment, but he has a potential to become number 1, and that's why we extend his contract, you know, and I believe that he learns a lot at the moment with Peter Cech and David Ospina, and for me he's certainly a future goalkeeper at Arsenal. The problem in this job, you have to be patient, and when you see that Peter Cech is 36, you know, and still plays, so when you're a young goalkeeper you have to be patient.
How much more patient? Because it's only one position, isn't it? Is it harder for a young goalkeeper to get that break compared to a midfielder attacker?
It's harder because you can play only one position, and that people want you to be perfect as soon as you come in, and you have no time anymore to every mistake a goalkeeper makes is noticed because it's most of the time goal.
How often do you speak to Jack? Are you in contact with him regularly?
No, not since he has left. I leave him to deal with his manager, you know, and overall, every week I ask how did he play. I read the reports, and when I can see highlights on television or watch him on television, I watch him. And for the rest, I think I'm happy that he has had no injuries since he has left us.
He said he wants Bournemouth to win. Did you see that? What do you think of that? Is that normal?
That's normal when you are committed to. When you sign for a club, you're committed to a project is to do well in the season. You cannot say you want your own team to lose the game.
And Arsene, just one more. We've only had one managerial change in the Premier League as we approach December at Swansea. You've often spoken about how keen you are for clubs to stick with their guy. Is that a surprise to you? Are you pleased by that?
Overall, yes. I think Steve Bruce left as well at the start of the season at Hull.
But that was in the summer, wasn't it?
Was in the summer, yes. But overall, the stability is important. But maybe as well, some clubs have made some bad experiences because we have seen recently that in last season some managers changed 1, 2, 3 times and without improving their results. So maybe a bit more cautious.
Arsene, when Jack's loan ends, he'll only have a year left on his contract. Will you have to address that before next summer, do you think?
Yes, ideally, yes.
And so is there a meeting planned, or do you
Not before the Bournemouth game, no. But certainly we have to plan that around the new year, yes.
So your intention is to offer him a new deal?
Yeah, of course.
In terms of, you were talking earlier about the decision making in the team, the passing, how much of a blow is it to lose Santi? Because he's so important to the tempo, isn't he, of the team?
It's important to our technical stability in the team, to the quality of the decision making, and to build up from a deep midfield to the high midfield, you know, and that is an important stage because he gets the ball out from the defenders. And but I think we have enough quality players in our side to get around that, even if Santi is a massive player. But I think we are good enough to find solutions despite the fact that he's not there.
I mean, you've tried in the last 3 games, you've tried Coquelin with Elneny, with Ramsey and with Xhaka. Is that rotation, or are you sort of searching for your best?
Look, at the moment we are getting November. You see the first signs as well of some players who need a little breather, and especially in areas where you fight a lot, you run a lot, and so I try as well to combine both to give some players some fresh legs, and as well to get around the fact that Santi is not there.
I mean, Granit Xhaka, for example, I think he's only started 5 Premier League games since he came in. Is it normally when a club spends that kind of money on a player, he'd play most weeks? Is there something he's not giving you, or is he not settling in perhaps? Or?
No, I'm very happy with his commitment. I think he's developing well, and overall, yes, he didn't maybe start enough since the start of the season, but he adapts to a different league, to a different way of play. But overall, I'm happy because he's every day focused to work hard, and I'm confident that he'll get his number of games. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.